Hey guys, so I thought I'd make two videos this week since I didn't get to make one last week. And I thought I would take inspiration from the lovely comments that were left on one of actually my first video on YouTube. And that person made it very clear how they feel about music school, which is basically that they think that music school is to learn mimicry. And I thought we would talk about the importance of music school and why that's not true. So first of all, if anything, music school is connections. You meet professionals and you also meet people your age or just slightly older and slightly younger who are doing the same things. And you can collaborate, you can get ideas, you can form groups, you can make connections, you can do whatever you need to with those people to create a network of colleagues and peers and mentors who can help you through your career. So that's super important. It has nothing to do with mimicry, and it's just meeting people. The same way, like, you network in business school, in the same way you go to conferences as an academic to meet other people who are studying similar things and share research and share things like that. Music school's a way to meet people, and meet people who are doing what you want to do, or have done what you want to do, and things like that. And second, it's a way to refine your skills. People don't always realize that music school isn't about learning music, like learning sheet music. It's about learning the skills to be able to interpret sheet music. Obviously, you learn repertoire during the year, but most of what you're getting out of your lessons and out of ensemble and things like that are the skills that you can apply to everything else you do. So, articulation, vibrato, legato playing, anything that you learn for a piece, you can then apply later on because you've worked on it, you know how to do it, you've learned the skill, and so then you can apply it later. You can apply it to things that seem unrelated, but you can, if you analyze it close enough, you can realize that, hey, I'm doing the same thing I did in this piece in my undergrad or whatever. So it's really important to learn these skills, and these skills are not always things that you can figure out yourself. You need someone else helping you, and you need someone else guiding you, and you need someone else telling you when you're doing it wrong. And obviously, as you go along, you get better and better about hearing it yourself, but one of the first steps is being taught when you're doing something wrong. And the third thing is experience. This person seems to think that musicians who are talented just go off and make music, and I think that's a really misguided opinion. First of all, because, quite honestly, most of the musicians who are successful in the world have talent, but also have worked hard for years. And that might not have been in school, but they have worked, and they have studied their craft, and they have continued practicing and refining and everything like that. And they've had experiences playing in ensembles and playing with other people. And one of the ways you can do that is by going to music school. Because you get orchestra, you get band, you get chamber, you get to do all of these cool things. You get to do contemporary music if that's what you're interested in. You get a very, very safe, very nurturing environment to learn how to play in an ensemble, to learn how to play in a woodwind quintet, to learn how you put together a piece in 3 rehearsals, to learn all of these skills that will then translate to the real world. It's not necessarily that you're learning to play like your teacher, which you might, but quite honestly, your teacher should be helping you play like yourself. But you get to learn all of these useful skills, whether they're directly related to your instrument or rehearsal related or everything like that, but you're learning skills for the real world. And you're getting 4 to 6 to 10 years, however long you take in school, to refine your craft and work on it and to be focused on it. And yes, you can do that without school, but it's a lot easier when you have mentors and people to support you, and also you're surrounded by people doing the same thing. Because as competitive as music school can be, it also pushes you to be better, because you're constantly surrounded by people who are doing really amazing things that you also want to do. And it's really easy to push yourself when there's someone ahead of you who's doing what you want to do. You can focus on them and pull yourself up to them and work really, really hard and beat them. And it's really a great environment to get better in. That's not always true, and certain schools are a little toxic, but like most of the time, music school is a really, really great place to refine your craft. And it's way, way more important than people think. Also, it's a chance to learn history and theory and a lot of academic music things that you don't learn through practical experience. And like historical context is so important, because you wouldn't play Beethoven the same way you would play Boulez. And that's one, historical context, historical style, and it's two, the methodology of the composer. Because Boulez is all about exact and like total serialism, whereas you have Beethoven who's about the sublime and about borderline romantic era ideals. And so historical context is super important. Theory is super important. As much as we might hate it, it's really good to know how chord progressions work and be able to analyze your music to figure out where the phrases are, where the chord changes are, where you should be able to breathe and things like that. And that's all theory. Which, I mean, you can learn through trial and error, but it's way easier just to learn the rules, or whatever they are, since we all know theory is kind of flexible. And so it's a chance to learn that from people who have studied it their whole lives. That comment just made me so amused. But, yeah, music school is important, and it might not be the path for you, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are in music school, know that it's really important, and that you should be taking advantage of what the opportunities that you're given. And also that things like this, history and theory, are important. Everything that you're learning in music school is important, or else you wouldn't be doing it. Granted, that's not always true, but like 95% of the time that's true. And take advantage of the opportunities you have, because you're lucky to be there. Yeah, I hope you guys have a good couple days, and I will see you on Thursday.